Welcome back to Find Your First Unseen Love. In this part of a conversation with Itisha Chowdhury, a woman whose journey unfolded in ways she never planned, we explore the unexpected turns life can take. Itisha shares how some of her biggest opportunities arrived when she stopped trying to control every outcome and allowed life to guide her toward a path she couldn't yet see. This conversation is a powerful reminder that surrender doesn't mean giving up on yourself or your dreams. It means trusting the process, embracing uncertainty, and surrendering to life, not to people. Let's dive in.
And my biggest me moment is my workout session.
I was about to talk about that. Like when you mentioned about workout, that in a way is also me time. That where you just trying to block out the noise and just focus. Even if it's not about, sitting and meditating or going inward. In a way, it's still going inward. It's still a reflection because you feel it inside. Right?
Yeah, and workout is something that I enjoy. I never really see it as, something that I have to. It's something that I want to. Because at my age, especially if I don't work out, I can start feeling my neck, my back, my hips. Last week, funny enough, I didn't have time to work out, so an entire week off from working out, I started feeling all the symptoms. And it's also mentally,
Exactly.
Emotionally, mentally, I get drained if I don't work out. So workout for me is something.
Like it's a ritual for you, and we all have our own rituals. So it's like a day when you miss it.
Yeah.
You feel bad. It's like withdrawal symptoms or something where you feel like, I have to go back.
Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. I grew up as not a dancer, I won't say a dancer, but I used to do Bollywood dance. I was part of a Bollywood dance team where I was doing traditional, classical Bollywood dance, and I was with Bollywood Blast.
We should sometime catch up on the Bollywood session.
Yeah, I've been dancing since I was 5 years old, and when I was hired by this company, I've done multiple shows in my life, and just right before COVID, I actually stopped dancing because I was focusing more on my education, my career.
Right.
My life took a different shift, so I stopped dancing. But I actually did a show recently, last year, in Ottawa, and I danced over there. So not a lot of people know this about me, but I'm actually a dancer.
Hidden secret. Wow.
So I do perform. So for me, if somebody asks what's your favorite sport, my answer is always dance, because I love dancing.
Me too. So that's a good way. I didn't know that, so that's another level to gel upon.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So thank you for sharing that, of course. And given this entire scenario where you're talking about the inner work and everything, and again, the silence moment doesn't have to practically look like silence, but that's your ritual that keeps you going. And when we talk about the becoming version of Itisha, so what all did it take? If you were to summarize that, okay, 3 things that really stood by you, and you would say, okay, these 3 were the major contributors, not from the society, but from within. What were those 3 factors that led you to becoming the version of Itisha you are today, or the version of Itisha that's trying to become the highest version of herself? Because that's the never-ending journey in life, right? So.
Absolutely. So for me, what really works, from the moment I decided to just surrender.
I love that. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard. You feel like inside the nervous system, right? It's like scary.
Yeah, absolutely. So the moment I decided to surrender, and I actually got this tattoo. It says faith.
Oh,
yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, so that's this tattoo. I don't know if you can see. So the moment, I decided to just let go and just accept and have faith. There was a time in my life, there was a period actually in my life where I was just using this sentence a lot. I have faith. I'm leaving everything on God, and I'm just, going with my faith.
Right.
And then I decided to get this tattoo. I got this last summer.
So sweet. Thank you for sharing that with
Of
us.
course. So as long as for me, I feel that faith, surrender, surrender to the universe, and just know that it will work out. It will work out. It will eventually work out. It might not work out the way you want. I don't get what I want all the time.
Very true.
I work hard for it.
Very true.
I work hard for it. I ask for it, and I envision myself. I say I'm gonna have a crown one day. For one example that I can give you, actually, this is very
Relevant.
and it's extremely touching for me. When I first got my Miss Canada South Asia title in 2024, I didn't know what that meant. Like, I don't know what the title was. I had very little knowledge about pageantry.
Okay.
I went in just for fun. To a point where I was wearing my mom's sari to the competition because I didn't take it seriously. I just went in because I'm like, I'm just gonna have fun. And I was going through a phase where I made my circle very small, and a lot of friends that I had, I didn't have them anymore.
Right.
Not because I hate them or they hate me for not any of that reason. It's just because the path that I was going to, I did not see those friends following me. So I was just very open to meeting new people, making new friends. So I went into Miss Canada, South Asia, just for fun, just to make new friends.
Right.
To be honest, and I went in there and I did the competition and I won the title and the crown. And again, I had very little knowledge about what pageantry meant or what it was. And when I got the title, I was told by one of the directors of the title organization, she said to me that this crown comes with a lot of responsibility, but also a lot of hate. Okay, and when she said that, I didn't really know what it meant. So I was like, oh, interesting,
Okay.
And then from there, I started noticing a lot of change in people, and I started noticing that, people don't see me the same way, and I just didn't know why. Because I'm like, I'm still the same person.
Yeah, it's just, with and without crown doesn't matter. I'm the same person.
I'm still the same person,
Yeah.
And in the process, I gained a lot of friends, I lost a lot of friends, and I'm extremely grateful to both. The ones that left, the ones that entered, And yeah, all of that to say was, so that was the moment where I realized that I want to do more. I want to continue. So I started learning about pageantry. I'm like, okay, what can I do to get more? Because Miss Canada South Asia was a smaller platform.
Gotcha.
I wanted to get the bigger platform now. And it's okay, right? Because I'm not pretty.
No, it's about expanding and exploring your full potential, for sure.
Exactly.
Why not?
So then I registered for Miss Universe Canada.
Oh, wow.
Huge jump. And I've had people looking at me like, wow, what do you think of yourself? Like, why do you think
people are the first ones to come in? You're thinking too much, you're being too ambitious, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then I was like, because I want to do that. I've had even people telling me like, why are you doing this? Like, with
questioning your ambition or questioning.
Yeah, with that look, and I was like, listen, I don't really know, but I know that
I
want to do it. And Miss Universe Canada was actually one of the hardest and toughest competitions. I'm not gonna lie, it was something. It was harsh. And over there, I didn't get the crown that I expected, but I made it to the top.
But you did.
Yeah.
The effort is something that matters. Hardly concerns with the outcome and everything. Itisha, many people just back down just by the vision of it. Oh, but that's scary. Moving out of the comfort zone is where you show that. I don't care whatever the work is about. I mean, that's so empowering just to know that you just made it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree. So 2024 was my other crown. 2025 was my experience and all the hard work. But you know what? I saw it all as a great experience. I was like, okay, so I made it to the top. So now this was my plan, right? I'm like, I made it to the top, but I want to get a crown. I just want another crown. And I was, at some point, I was telling myself, I'm like, am I addicted to this? What's going on?
We start questioning the self-outcomes.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm like, am I addicted to this? But I just knew that I had the potential to get to a bigger platform. I just didn't know how, you know? But to be honest, the Miss Universe Canada platform did not give me a crown, but it cleared a path for me.
It gave you the direction.
It gave me the direction.
Beautiful.
I got sponsors that I never thought I would get. You know, and
If you would have backed down out of fear or something.
And I'm not gonna name like the big brands, but I did, and I was extremely humble. Like I was shocked too at some point. I was like, oh my God, these people are really investing in me.
Oh, so
you know, and I started getting like self-validation. I'm like, wow, you know, they see something in me, so I might be something good.
But it takes a lot of time to realize that you are worth it.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever the world thinks.
Exactly. So then after that, I decided to do Miss Galaxy Canada, and I did it in 2025. Then I went back again, because I'm like, I would just like to know what it feels like getting another crown on a bigger platform, you know? And I didn't get it. So for me, it was like, of course, it was heartbreaking because I'm like, I put in so much effort, energy. So did everybody else, you know. Everybody really works hard.
Very true.
And I did take a week. That week when I came back from that pageantry, it really hit me hard, you know, because I thought I did everything right. I thought I was doing everything that I'm supposed to do.
Giving 110%.
Giving and you know, so did everybody else. All the other women that were there for the same reason, so they did the same thing too. But what did I learn from all of that was that getting the crown wasn't really my purpose. My purpose was to actually make connection, meet people, you know, learn about people and learn about myself in this journey, you know. So. But I still didn't give up. I was like, what can I do?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Not getting rejections back to down or being like, oh, I'm not worth it. I just love that connection.
Yeah, thank you. So, you know, and then somehow, where I was reached out by Miss International World Canada, and I saw the opportunity, then I went to Florida, I did it, you know, and then I came back with a crown. So in September, I'm actually going back to Florida to win the title of Miss International World. So right now I'm representing Canada. Thank you. And hopefully I'll come back with a crown. And even if I don't, I honestly don't care at this point.
You're just putting yourself the best version out there, and that is it that matters. Itisha. The way you carry yourself speaks a lot about you. I must say that.
Thank you.
With or without crown, doesn't matter at all.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So the point in all of that and the moral of my story, I believe that, you know, I never take no for an answer. You know,
NO, just to add your point, I'm sorry I'm cutting you off here, but NO, I just came across one of the, you know, posts, and it said, as kids we are trained no means rejection. But no is an acronym for next opportunity.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
my God, this is to a different level.
Yeah. So for me, I guess that's what I'm going to be using this from now on. NO, next opportunity. Thank you for the no. I still, you know, believe it or not, like, you know, I do apply for like brands and bigger opportunities, and sometimes I get accepted and sometimes I don't.
That's fine.
Because I guess it has nothing to do with me, but more of what they're looking for I don't have that, you know, that kind of qualities or whatever XYZ it could be. But, you know, when I see the email or somebody calling me and saying, thank you so much for applying, however, you know, you're not the right fit for our brand. it does hurt, it hurts because,
100%,
like, I wish to be part of it.
Yeah.
And also because of my height, there's a lot of times I get rejected because, I'm not that's tall, and the height that, people, models are expected to.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, thank you so much for the information. Thank you for letting me know. And I'm like, what can I do next?
Yeah.
If I'm getting, and it's not only just your brand that exists, there are plenty of other brands that exist. So
that's the next opportunity mindset you have.
yeah, and I'm always doing that, So I always say I never take no as an answer. I always go for what I want, and I get what I want. But in that, I will also say that I get what I want because I really work hard for it.
Beautiful.
Nothing is ever given to me or handed to me.
On the silver platter,
On the silver platter, I always had to work hard. I feel like my life, and since birth, I'm actually surviving.
You're a fighter. You're a fighter.
I'm a fighter.
And I love that.
Since birth,
It's the queen who's a warrior. It's just so beautiful. The combination of those traits. And that is what makes the person unstoppable, Itisha.
What keeps me going is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely grateful for everything I do. Even just meeting you, I'm so grateful.
Oh, it's mutual. It's mutual. I think I'm so grateful getting to learn so much from you.
Yeah.
Like, phenomenal.
Thank you. So gratitude is something that keeps me going. Being humble is another, because without being humble, like, you're not going anywhere.
Very true.
In life, no matter what kind of title you have, no matter how much money you have, no matter, even if somebody just opens your door, say thank you. Say thank you.
Because the character is something which is going to stay, even if we hit our old age, right? This thing is not going to stay with us. But the character, and you mentioned humility, which people mistake it for weakness, which is never the case.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So if somebody's holding your door, please don't forget to say thank you.
And hold the door as well, even if you're rushing.
Exactly. And the other one is my life. I look at my life. I just, I keep reminding myself that, I have to be grounded. I cannot let all these titles, let all these things get to my head. I have to be grounded. I have to keep reminding myself that where I come from.
The roots.
The roots.
Beautiful.
My parents' values,
Beautiful.
the way I was raised, and just life in general.
And with this, you're also highlighting the impermanence of things, right? Like, nothing stays forever.
Never.
So taking a moment to acknowledge and be like, okay, these are my roots that I come from, and not forgetting them. Because sometimes you're like, oh, I have success, abundant success, I'm invincible now. That's where the growth stops. So you beautifully brought about those three, traits, or those three things that keep you going. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm also very curious to know about the confidence aspect, and you say that you don't take no for an answer. Is there a link between confidence and not giving up in life? And has that clearly shown up in your life? Or if people are struggling with one or both of those, what is your advice, in your opinion, based on your experience? Like, if everything is crumbling outside, how about we keep that confidence and that never give up attitude within ourselves?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Absolutely, everything that you said. You have to keep going, you have to be confident, and you have to have the go-getter attitude. Because if you don't, then you're not going to actually get what you want. If you write an exam and you fail, do you really give up and say, okay, I failed this semester and I cannot do it anymore? And then you're not going to graduate. You just have to keep going. Even if you fail, I understand you studied really hard, you stayed awake all night, prepared for your exam, and you failed. And that happened to me too. That happens to the best of us.
Very true.
But that doesn't make you
bad
or
worthless.
less smart. You just didn't make it because then study harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's also, in my opinion, whenever you're not getting what you want, it's the universe redirecting you to some other direction. And that's the universe's call. I'm not saying, oh, if this happens, sometimes the things, we also create our own outcomes, as you're mentioning.
Yeah.
But when you've given your all, then it's really the universe's call.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a little background about me. I'm just going to make it very quick. And now that you mentioned this, I feel like I have to say this.
Yeah.
As we wrap up part 3, Itisha's story reminds us that life doesn't always unfold according to our plans. And sometimes the greatest growth comes from trusting where the journey takes us. But what you've heard so far is only part of the story. In part 4, Itisha opens up about an experience so unexpected and deeply personal that it changed the way she saw herself, her purpose, and the world around her. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's next.